One of the most asked questions in 2025 is, will Solana reach $1,000 in the coming bull run? Well, we're here to find out, and we'll be providing you with the latest overview, stats, news, and more. So smash that like and subscribe button and let's dive straight into it. So why do we think Solana will reach $1,000? Well, we're first going to start off with the use cases. Now, Solana has an incredible amount of use cases behind its network. Up top, you can see in the solutions section, first we're going to start off with enterprise. Secure, fast, scalable, ready for business. Now, guys, you can see here that there are over 14 million daily active transactions, 719 J average energy used per transaction, less than a handful of internet searches. So you can see this is one of the most sustainable networks out there. 14 million daily active transactions is a lot, and therefore the Solana network is fully capable of processing millions of transactions per day, which is exactly what we're going to need for global crypto adoption. So down below you can see a few use cases of which we have MasterCard, obviously, which needs no introduction. We've got Stripe, Shopify, Google Cloud, ASICS, and Boba, guys. So you can see these huge Web2 companies of which are utilizing the Solana network. So if you scroll down, you'll be able to see what they are doing with them. So as you can see down below, ASICS is building an NFT collection equivalent that could be used in the popular game Step-In. So basically you can buy these NFTs in order to walk and earn. Google Cloud, how are they supporting the Solana infrastructure? Well, they run a validator node on the Solana network to help secure it. They must be bullish on Solana. Solana Pay crossed with Shopify, so users can use USDC payments on the Shopify platform through the Solana network through Solana Pay. This is absolutely massive, being one of the largest platforms in the world for developing websites and even dropshipping. So you can see that there are so many more use cases, and you can see more case studies if you like. There are honestly so many behind the Solana ecosystem, and this is just narrowed down to enterprises. If we go back, gaming and entertainment. Now, this is going to be one of the biggest use cases for Solana. And why do I say this? Well, one primary reason is their gaming console, of which is called Play Solana. Now, many people may know what Play Solana is. However, some people don't. Now, although this isn't an official Solana product from the Solana team themselves, you can see it is powered by the Solana network, and it is officially a handheld gaming console for the Solana ecosystem of GameFi protocols. Now, in my personal opinion, GameFi narrative is coming back, and Solana is probably going to grab a huge bunch of those users and developers building and exploring the Solana ecosystem worth of games. However, not only that, my friends, I'm sure we can all agree that mobile gaming has become one of the biggest industries, and many of you probably already know about the Solana Mobile. Now, they are on the second version of their Solana Mobile, known as Seeker. This is the second generation. They are consistently providing new software and new updates for their Solana mobiles. However, you'll be able to play all your favorite GameFi protocols on these mobiles. So in my personal opinion, guys, they are ready for the GameFi narrative. You can see down below that they've already got 88 live Solana games, and this is how much it costs to mint an NFT, and this is how much it costs to mint 1 million NFTs, $110. Guys, I don't know whoever's going to mint 1 million NFTs, but we can see that it would cost basically nothing over a whole lifetime or even a generational lifetime. Down below, you can see the biggest games within their ecosystem so far. You've got Star Atlas. I don't know what this one is. It looks like Mixbob, Step-In, and Aurori. So down below, you can see how developers can utilize the Solana network to build unbelievable games. However, my friends, basically, we've got some huge games out right now like Star Atlas, which seems to be the most popular in the Solana ecosystem right now. There are so many more games coming, and hopefully in the future, we'll see massive games like GTA or Fortnite or Call of Duty or even World of Warcraft join the Solana network to develop some high-powered Web3 games. If it's not those games, hopefully it's the same companies bringing out some awesome games to Web3 users. But moving on, we've got artists and creators, and of course, for those who are NFT fans, you will know that Solana is one of the most thriving networks when it comes to NFTs. Solana is home to a thriving ecosystem of artists and creators, like it says. 6,000 million NFTs, which is 6 billion NFTs minted. Over 532,000 creators and over $1.3 billion earned by creators. This is one of the most powerful networks for NFTs. Why do I say this? Well, it costs absolutely nothing to mint an NFT, basically. You saw that it costs a fraction of a cent, and in order to mint 1 million NFTs, you're going to need $110. So this is a perfect network for the NFT narrative, and although it is very dry right now, it is very likely to appear once again once we see more real-world use cases in the world of Web3. So, personally, guys, you can see Solana as a thriving network for the world of NFTs once it does return, and I'm going to leave this one short and sweet. But moving on to the next solution, we've got financial institutions. Now, this is where it's going to rake in trillions of dollars for the Solana network if all goes well. Now, if Solana becomes one of the leading networks for financial enterprises, whether that's the banks, whether or not that is companies such as BlackRock and Vanguard and so on, utilizing the Solana network, this could very well take it to $1,000 all on its own. So the Solana protocol enables highly configurable native tooling that gives institutions unmatched speed, cost efficiency, and flexibility. Institutions who need Web3 to enable global 24-hour trading can take advantage of innovations in the Solana ecosystem like token extensions, permissioned environments, and more to build compliance-friendly solutions. At the moment, they are powering tools and integrations from companies all around the world, including Stripe, the Pyth network, which is an Oracle, Visa and MasterCard, and even WorldPay. Now, these are huge companies that don't need any introduction whatsoever. But if you want to see how they are using their use cases, down below you can see Visa expanded a stablecoin pilot to Solana, stating that the network was a good candidate for efficient blockchain settlement rails using stablecoins like USDC. So if you'd like to read more, you can head over to their website. But this is absolutely enormous. Most of us guys, probably 99% of us, in our wallets or your purses, whatever you probably got yourselves a Visa debit or credit card. But moving down, you can see Stripe. It first debuted its fiat to crypto payments on-ramp, and 11 of the 16 projects in the program are built on Solana. Say no more. Cool. Pyth, the high-frequency Oracle service, uses a Solana permissioned environment for rapid data processing that moves data to and from Web 2 and Web 3. So this is the world's most used blockchain according to Solana. Millions of transactions are being conducted per day, and I believe them. So we've gone through all of their use cases, and I'm pretty sure this says enough. However, it doesn't stop there in this video. This is just the beginning. Now, I want to further dive into their statistics. So if you scroll down, you'll be able to see that it is built for mass adoption. Looking at their live data, you can see they are processing 4,164 transactions per second. That's right, 4,164 people per second are clicking a button on Solana making some sort of transaction. There are over 1,305 validator nodes securing the network. That includes protocols such as Phantom, that includes protocols such as Google Cloud. These are all supporting the decentralization of the Solana network, making it the strongest network that it is right now, ensuring your data remains secure and censorship resistant. It's scalable. You can see this amount of transactions down below. We've got 389.3 billion transactions at the time of recording this video. Now, by the time you're looking at it, guys, it is going to definitely be way beyond this. It is climbing up by the second, 4,164 transactions per second to be precise. And you can see it is probably one of the most energy efficient networks out there, as it uses the proof of stake network and other innovations, which you can see down below. It has a 0% net carbon impact. Exactly what we want to see for the world of global crypto adoption. So it is designed for the world. It's designed for users, developers, builders, and companies all around the world. That includes you, me, and everyone. So where I want to take you next is over to DeFi Llama. And if we take a look at every single chain in the world of Web3, as soon as you scroll down, you'll see Solana at number 2. This means it has the highest TVL, basically total value locked, which means all the assets within the network. You can see it is sitting at a $6.59 billion DeFi TVL at the time of making this video. So above that, you can see Ethereum at $48.94 billion. Now, that right now is not beatable. However, guys, we can see the fact that Solana is beating so many other popular blockchains, such as Bitcoin, BSC, which is the BNB chain, Tron, Berachain, Base, Arbitrum, Sui, Avalanche, Aptos, and so on. So it batters every single other layer 1 and layer 2, excluding Ethereum. Now, that's fair enough. However, I would like to say that the Solana ecosystem is so powerful when it comes to all of the decentralized applications. You can see the fact that they've got some serious TVL within so many of their protocols, including Jitto, Jupiter, Camino, Marinade, Radium, Sanctum. Guys, everything that you would need in the world of DeFi is all on Solana, and they've got some serious protocols of which you can utilize. So you can see here, guys, that there is some serious volume taking place every single day. The stablecoins market cap is sitting at 12.599 billion. Chain fees 1.12 million every 24 hours. Now, we want to look at that on an annual scale, and that is absolutely fantastic. That is over $365 million While with fees like this, they can earn a serious amount, and that enables them to obviously upgrade their protocol to the insane protocol that it is right now. So you can see the DEX volume, the perps volume, the active addresses, 2.65 million users every single day are using the Solana network. That is insane. We've got the total raised amount. They raised $315 million. Their bridge TVL sits at $23 billion. I don't need to go through it all, guys. You can see how big the Solana network is. And although it had a very big flat line for about a year, we can see that Solana network is on its way back up to extraordinary heights. Now, back in early 2025, we did see an all-time high for the DeFi TVL of the Solana network. I don't think it is the end, guys. We can see the market conditions are extremely rough right now, but for those who are surviving and for those who are enjoying the market right now, will hopefully be heavily rewarded once we start to see another huge spike up. I'm ready for it, and I hope you are too. So, another website we are on right now is Artemis, and this enables us to look at the developer activity. And the developer activity enables us to see how active developers are building on each and every network. Now, why do I say this is important to look at? Well, if developers aren't building on the network, then it's as good as dead. Because if developers aren't building on it, then users aren't going to be on there. If there are no developers on the network, there are no users. So what I'm trying to say is, guys, the more developers, the more users, the more people are building on a network, the more likeliness of it to be thriving full of users. So down below, we can see Ethereum is again sitting at number 1 with a weekly dev amount of 2,545. However, down below that, we can see the Solana network sitting at 761. So it again takes second place. And the great news is it's up 32.4% in the last 3 months. So guys, we can see more developers entering the Solana ecosystem within the last 3 months. Although there seems to be a lot of activity in other networks, majority is of course on Solana and Ethereum. Now, Cosmos is right below it. However, we are looking at Solana and it seems to be very active with 761 developers building and developing on the Solana network. So it's very good to look at, guys, and I like to see that Solana still has a thriving ecosystem of developers because it shows us clearly that they see a future for the Solana network. So enough of the stats. We could go through so many different websites and platforms proving to you that Solana is one of the most thriving platforms and networks out there. However, we are now going to move on to some news articles of which could prove Solana may reach $1,000 in 2025. So first of all, we are looking at the tie with BlackRock and Solana. Yes, you heard that right, BlackRock, the infamous company with over trillions of dollars in their assets under management. We can see that here BlackRock expands blockchain-based money market to Solana in tie-up with startup Securitize. So down below you can see a full article. Now I'm not going to read it all, however I'm going to read out a little bit just to give you an understanding of what is going on. However, basically BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, continues to expand its crypto footprint. On Tuesday, the firm's technology partners Securitize announced that BlackRock is adding its blockchain-based money market fund to Solana. That's exactly what we love to see. The fastest growing Ethereum challenger. Correct. The move comes a year after the finance giant launched the BlackRock USD International Digital Fund. BUIDL takes traditional money market funds which serve as short-term places to park cash and earn yield and combines it with the ledger and payment properties of blockchain. So, crypto-savvy investors can park their BUIDL funds now on 7 blockchains, including Solana. Initially launched on Ethereum, BlackRock's tokenized money market fund has attracted a steady inflow of capital, and I'm not too surprised whatsoever. So, their vision is for why on-chain finance adds more value is because you can do more things with those assets on-chain than you could if they're sitting in your brokerage account. This was said by Lily Liu, president of the Solana Foundation. BlackRock's expansion of BUIDL comes as the asset manager increasingly dips its toes into the crypto markets. In January 2024, it launched a spot Bitcoin ETF, which was absolutely insane and attracted almost $40 billion. ETFs are one step in the technological revolution in the financial markets, said Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. Now, guys, this is absolutely enormous and this could do wonders for Solana, and I personally think it will do. Once we start to see the overall market conditions and we see more retail investors, this will very well help the Solana network grow to greater heights. However, although I don't think this is going to directly pump it to $1,000, there are people that think that the Solana price token can go to $1,000 and it's not just us. And I'm going to show you this over on this article, which as you can see, the Solana price prediction. Want to know when Sol is expected to hit $1,000? Well, I know I do. So thank you Crypto Daily for this article. We're going to give it a brief read. So as you can see, after hitting a new all-time high at $293, Solana entered a a downward channel. Now we know this has happened because the market conditions have been rough all across the board, and it's not just Solana. Now once we scroll down, although Solana is now stalling, analysts believe that the bottom is in and further declines are unlikely, as it is now resting on a yearly support level from which the price has always rebounded. Solana's 4-hour RSI is now entering oversold territory at 33 points, which signals that selling activity is rapidly waning and a rebound from here could be in store if buyers step in decisively. So you can see that on the chart. Scrolling down, as accumulations around those levels continue, analysts believe that Solana could be on the verge of a long-awaited reversal. EtherWiz points out that Solana is now preparing for a breakout, but for this to happen, the $180 resistance level must be flipped into support for bullish continuation to be confirmed. Furthermore, analyst and trader CW draws attention to a cup and handle formation appearing on the Solana chart. Typically, this is a bullish pattern that often foreshadows exponential price surges. If this scenario plays out, Solana could rally to the new heights as the cycle progresses, with the $1,000 milestone becoming a real possibility at the peak of the bull run. Exactly what I was thinking. Guys, honestly, I think a $1,000 price point is not impossible, and according to these charts, it does seem so. However, in the future, you can expect many more videos of which we are going to cover technical analysis surrounding the Solana token, but for now, we are just looking at the crypto daily news coverage. So, the next and final news article that we want to cover is probably one that you already guessed, and we kind of briefly mentioned it, and that is the Solana ETF. Now, we have a few articles of which covers the Solana ETFs. However, Volatility Shares is launching 2 Solana futures exchange traded funds, of which have already been launched on March 20th. Now, we've got the first one, which is Volatility Shares Solana ETF, also known as SOL-Z, and then you've got the Volatility Shares 2X Solana ETF, of which is SOL-T. Now, according to the SEC, SOL-Z will feature a management fee of 0.95% until June 30th, 2026, when the management fee will increase to 1.15%. The other one as well, you can see the management fee and so on. But basically, what is this, guys? Well, the SOL futures went live on March 17 with a trading volume of approximately $12.1 million on the first day. For context, Bitcoin futures debuted at over $102 million in volume on the first day of trading, and Ethereum futures garnered over $30 million the day they launched. Despite the relatively low volume, SOL futures contracts could help boost demand for the crypto from institutional investors and encourage price discovery. So we are seeing Solana ETFs being approved left, right, and center. We are seeing many more applying for a Solana ETF. The more Solana ETFs, the more crypto ETFs, the better off the market will be. First, it started with Bitcoin, then Ethereum, now we have Solana. Now, I personally believe that these ETFs are going to very well pump the Solana token to greater heights once, of course, the market picks up and we see more retail investors and even institutional investors. But, of course, this is just a matter of time. We just need to wait for everything to play out. We need to wait for those market conditions to pick up again because, of course, we are seeing them very rough right now. So we've gone through all of the news, we've gone through all of the stats, all of the use cases, but now, my friends, we want to go into the fun part and provide you with some rough price predictions. Therefore, at the time of making this video, the Solana token is currently priced at $125.72 with a huge market cap of $64.4 billion, ranking it the 6th largest crypto by market cap. Now, it has seen an all-time high of just under $300 at a price of $294.33, which occurred in January of 2025. It's available on all the biggest centralized exchanges, including Binance, Bybit, Coinbase, Upbit, OKX, and all of the others. It is one of the easiest cryptocurrencies to obtain. Now, I personally believe we are going to see those huge green candles. So what we're going to do, we are now going to move over to market cap of, where we're going to give you some rough price predictions to see how, where, and why Solana can reach that $1,000 price point. So we've covered all of the news, statistics, and so much more. However, over on market cap of, I would say my first stop is for the Solana token to reach the all-time high of the XRP token at $190 billion. Now, for it to reach XRP's all-time high, it would do a 2.95x, taking Solana up to $371.38. Now, this would only break its all-time high by around $75. Now, that isn't that much if you think about it. And although that is a huge jump in market cap, honestly, with a market cap of trillions of dollars, if we look at the total crypto market cap, I personally think Solana obtaining just a $190 billion market cap is easily obtainable. I personally believe at bull run conditions we could very well see that $1,000 price point, and therefore it would have to roughly reach the market cap of Ethereum's all-time high at $571.66 billion. Now I know it's at $1,115 here, but I think an 8.87x for Solana is very possible in the coming bull run. I personally think we're going to see that meme coin narrative bring Solana back all the way to its all-time high and beyond. I personally think that financial institutions are going to be using Solana. I think that Solana is going to be the home of GameFi, bringing in all these Web3 gaming protocols and hopefully Web2 games. I personally think it is one of the best networks when it comes to DeFi, enabling people to earn unimagined yield, of which is available on so many fantastic different protocols. Honestly, there's so much I can say about Solana. I am a solid Solana user. Although it has been on the decline as well as every other cryptocurrency in the market, I personally think that $1,000 price point is coming for Solana, and I think a $571 billion market cap for Solana is not impossible whatsoever. If I was to say a nice price prediction, I'd say a $500 billion market cap. Looking at the total crypto market cap, guys, $2.64 trillion. Now, that would only be a fifth of what it is right now. And I personally believe, being the leading layer 1 network that it is, that sort of percentage is not impossible whatsoever. But I think this total crypto market cap is going to climb to around $8 to $10 trillion at the peak of the coming bull run. And therefore, Solana obtaining just a $500 billion market cap. Does that sound impossible? I don't really think so. But of course, guys, nothing that we say in this video is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Take everything we say with a pinch of salt. Always do your own research, guys. We are not fortune tellers whatsoever, and you must always conduct your own research at all times. We appreciate every single one of you. If you've enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, because it really shows support on our channel. If you would like to see the same with any other cryptocurrency, or if you want any other video including a review, guide, tutorial for airdrops, or whatever it may be, let us know in the comment section down below, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.